Hi, I'm the Yichen Wang, and this is my media presentation of philosophy of human nature. And in the beginning, I thought the answer to the question, "Who am I?" would be defined primarily by my background, experience, interests, and values. I feel that my identity is shaped by the choice and the experience I have made and is a synthesis of how I see myself, how I interact with other people, and how I respond to the challenges. And after a few weeks of study, my opinion has changed. I came to realize that personal identity is not just determined by past experience. Especially when discussing my self-identity and otherness, I began to understand that self-identity is actually dynamic, and changing and developing as um, the environment and the relationship and the self-perception change. And there are two weekly topics that deeply affect me. The first is the self-identity and social identity. The first week discussed the difference and connection between the self-identity and the social identity, which made me rethink the question, who am I? And it's mentioned in the course that everyone's self-identity needs to be recognized and confirmed in the social interaction. Otherwise, it's easy to produce self-denial. And it made me realize that our identity is not just self-defined, but also influenced by how other people see me. This kind of social reaction play an important role in the shaping of my self-identity and made me pay more attention to the role of the social relation in my self-identity. Oh, and the Locke's idea that identity depends on the concessions and memory made me rethink how much I depend on the recall. Such experiments on memory ensure that transfer has highlights that identity may not depend on physical con- continuity but on psychological connections. This is the shook up my original opinions, but it's also opened up the new way of thinking about responsibility and self. And in week two, the debate between the dualism and the physicalism forced me to question whether my sense of the self was tied to an immaterial mind or the fully physical process. Such as not such, but for example, the Jackson's married room thought experience. This example confronted me with a limitation of physical explanation of subjection experience, reinforcing the idea that identity includes. And in the week three, we talk about the multiple identities and the role conflict. The George said the ourselves are formed in interaction with others, consisting of the Lord I and guest I. This series made me realize that there are multiple layers of the identity. I'm the student and the friend, the child, and um, other identity, and that these roles sometimes conflict. By understanding this dynamic nature, I have become more accepting the um, contradictions in myself identity and have learned to strike a balance between different roles. And in conclusion, through the study in the past few weeks, I have gradually changed from my simple opinion of the self identity as a personal experience to the view of self identity as a dynamic process. This change has helped me to better understand my relationship with others and to find myself in multiple roles. I realized that self identity is not a fixed label, but continuous procession. Yeah, and thank you for your listening.